This is what you call the start of a very, very, very bad day. What you're witnessing is gallons upon gallons of water leaking into the street via a cracked pipe in my front lawn. This is a solid steel water meter valve key. It only costs $12 and it's about to make my very, 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 very bad day at least a little bit cheaper by allowing me to shut off the main water supply being supplied to my house until I can get the pipe fixed. You know, so I don't go broke, flooding the entire neighborhood.
And it is now off.
I hardly ever need to use this valve key, but what I love about it is as a tool, it's super easy to use and works exactly as intended.
Action. Okay. He's like.
It just so happens that I will be unboxing and testing out the new RSC2 today. As a tool, I'm hoping that it's super easy to use and works as intended and advertised. My goal is to make the ultimate compact filming kit for my 2021 wedding season, and that is why I'm interested in the RSC2. I mean, right on DJI's website, it says foldable, compact, amazing. We shall see, DJI. We shall see. I'm sure there's a learning curve to get the best results out of the RSC2. But at the same time, DJI is promising that the RSC2 is giving us a lot of added stability with this new hardware and software. So I'm curious to see if this gimbal will be more stable than any other gimbal I've used thus far. Because if not, then it's just another gimbal. So I have about 3 hours until the plumber gets here to handle this leak. So I'm going to head to my first shoot with the RSC2.
So right now, all we want to do is calibrate it. I'm not going to use any of the fancy smancy features today. All we want to know is the gimbal stable? So to auto calibrate it, you hit this M on the back and the front trigger at the same time. And you hold it, yep. And now it is starting the calibration process.
For this shoot, I am meeting up with my friend Tim, and he brought his kitted out Hyundai Veloster for us to film using the RSC2. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I won't be doing this test shoot alone. If you are not familiar with YC from YC Imaging, he is an incredible filmmaker, and I have been inspired by his YouTube videos for many years.
So let me ask you, I know you use the Ronin M. Do you like one-handed gimbals better or gimbals like that?
I've noticed that I'm not a fan of the camera being up top. I like the center of gravity to be down low. Okay. The Ronin M does that. You have the dual handles. I feel like it's just smoother that way. When you have it like this, then you have like the resistance of the gimbal potentially tipping in all these other different ways, where it's just like center, down bottom gravity. I just prefer it so much more than.
So here's how we will be doing the initial shots of the RSC2. YC and I will both film 7 shots of Tim in his car. I thought this would be a great test since everyone has a slightly different way to walk with a gimbal, and some people's hands may be steadier than others when they hold a gimbal, so this test will give us a really good indication of how stable the RSC2 is. We will not be using slow motion to smooth out the footage at all, so we will be filming everything at 24 frames per second.
And action.
What if you want to lock the gimbal?
Oh, if you want to lock, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So all you do is hold down that front trigger.
Okay.
And it locks it.
Okay. So if I want to execute this shot, I want to do something like that. Like trying to get this down low angle like this. And it's just like, I'm really out here doing aerobics to get this shot, but it's all good though. All right, action. right, go ahead.
Action.
So the first thing I want to say is image-wise, I think the Sirui 35mm Anamorphic Lens looks great. I just had to throw that in there. Stabilization-wise, I have to be honest, I didn't feel that the gimbal was mind-blowingly more stable than my Crane 2. However, I really did unbox the RSC2 just 3 hours before the shoot, so this was literally my first time using it, and YC's first time using it. Okay, so let's briefly talk about how compact this filmmaking setup was. I used the RSC2, the GH5, 2 GH5 batteries, the Ninja 5 with an SSD and 1 battery, the Sirui 35mm Anamorphic Lens and 1 slim HDMI cable, and the small rig dedicated L bracket. For having a monitor on it, this is a pretty light gimbal setup. I mounted the Ninja 5 to the gimbal via the NATO mount, and the RSC2 has 2 of these, one on each side. I will experiment with some different setups because my bracket monitor was in the way a little when I was trying to access the RSC2's menu dial, but I was still able to reach it. If you guys are curious, here is my behind the scenes setup for the shoot. We used the Field World 4K monitor with a slim HDMI cable, GH5 with 2 batteries, the small rig GH5 L bracket, the Camvate wood handle, the Zion Crane tripod feet, and the Sirui 50mm Anamorphic lens. So this shoot is a wrap, and we finished up just in time as I need to get home to meet up with the plumbers to get this leak fixed. And as the plumbers do their thing, I watch a few DJI tutorials on the RSC2 and learn how to properly put the gimbal in briefcase mode. When the gimbal is actually turned on and is in upright mode, you will rotate the lock knob to lower the gimbal. Then once you get it to the desired level, you will tighten the knob to lock it in place. Press the trigger twice, and then like magic, the gimbal will automatically switch to briefcase mode. If you have the RS2 or the RSC2, I would highly recommend checking out the video that Midas Digital made demonstrating how to use all the modes for the gimbal. I'll put a link to his videos in the description of this video. I want all of my filming gear to be compact, and the RSC2 definitely checks off that box, but I also want my gimbal to be versatile. I have a few different attachments for my Crane 2. I have attachments for low shots, I have side attachments which you can also mount a monitor to. Now the RSC2 has a few different configurations which it can perform without any additional attachments, like the RSC2's briefcase mode and portrait mode. Now the jury's still out on whether these modes will be useful operation modes for the way I shoot, but for my next shoot today, I plan on finding out. I wanted to stay with the theme of filming vehicles, so I asked my good friend Lance if he would bring his mobile gaming truck out so I could make him a little Instagram video using the RSC2. 5 hours after my first shoot, I'm a little bit more familiar with the RSC2, so hopefully I can put a nice video together for him.
And action. Ready? Action, action.
So we did do a few shots over once it got dark, so just keep in mind that some of the shots will be sunset, some of the shots will be dark, but I think it actually worked out in the edit. So here is the little social media video I ended up making for my buddy's Instagram using the RSC2 and the Sirui 35mm Anamorphic lens. We did end up doing the interview portions of this video with the Sirui 50mm lens.
Hey guys, this is Lance and this is the Mobile Gaming Lounge. Mobile Gaming Lounge is an entertainment service, and to be honest with you, I can't even limit it to that because I have a huge vision for this mobile rig, and one way people see it a lot certainly is servicing birthday parties. I tie in my entertainment experience from being a DJ, bringing that to the mobile gaming lounge. I'm telling y'all, this ain't no joke. On God, we got, I don't want to say the cleanest, but this, hey, it's sanitized up in here, bruh. Come on. There we go. Hey, I spray it down. I got boatloads of disinfectant in the back, so trust me, you ain't catching it up in here. Come on, have a good time. Mobile gaming lounge.
This is hot tea, and I'm drinking it because it's starting to get cold out here in Georgia, and I always need something warm to motivate me to hit the record button on my camera when it's starting to get cold out.
Easy does it.
All right, so yesterday I used my RSC2 for the first time, and after having the night to look at my footage and really process everything, I have mixed feelings about the gimbal.
Hear me out. See, I've watched a lot of videos on the RSC2, and in the videos, most people are saying, wow, this is awesome, it's amazing, best gimbal ever. And in my time using it yesterday, I never had that moment where I felt that this gimbal has completely changed my life. To be honest, there were moments, especially when I was running short on time, when we were losing light, when filming with Lance last night, where I was like, man, I wish I had my crane too. You know, because I know it like the back of my hand, and a piece of gear that you know is way more important than having the latest piece of gear. I only use this gimbal for one day, so I'm sure if I use it for a few weeks and keep practicing with it, I can eventually get the smoothest shots using this gimbal. My goal with this video was to see if the gimbal was a game changer straight out of the box without any tweaking of the settings. And while the gimbal does have some pretty cool features that will save me space and time, straight out of the box as a stabilization tool, I just wasn't completely blown away with its stability. But that doesn't mean it isn't a great stabilizer. And to be honest, I tried to put the RSC2 in less than ideal conditions. For one, when I typically film B-roll, I'm filming at 60 frames per second, and I have the camera's image stabilization turned on, which helps smooth out my shots even more. I filmed all of yesterday's shots at 24 frames per second with the image stabilization off, as I wanted us to be able to see all of the camera's shakes and jitters, and there were quite a few shakes and jitters while we were filming. With all that said, it's a great little gimbal, and I'm sure with some fine-tuning of the settings I can make it even better, but it will definitely take some practice for me to get the most out of this stabilizer. It's time for me to pack back up because I have 3 client shoots this weekend, and I will be using the RSC2, and this time I will pair it with the Lumix GH5, and if I have time, I might get to test out the DJI Mini 2. Peace.